Have you ever considered if a basic fruit might be risky as you grow older? We're often told that fruit is one of the most beneficial foods we can consume. However, the reality is some fruits can be unexpectedly harmful for older adults. Whether it's their impact on blood sugar, digestion, or how they react with medications, particular fruits can endanger your well-being without you even realizing it. In this video, we'll uncover 9 fruits that older adults should steer clear of completely. A few of these might be shocking, since they're frequently suggested as nutritious options. But depending on your body's requirements, they might be more damaging than helpful. By the conclusion of this guide, you'll have a clearer understanding of which fruits to be cautious of and the reasons behind it. Avoiding them could actually defend your health. Stick with me until the end because the final one is a fruit many folks eat regularly without realizing its hidden hazard. Let's begin. Number 1. Grapefruit. One of the most popular yet underestimated risky fruits for older adults is grapefruit. Though it might seem like a refreshing and nutritious pick, it can create serious problems when mixed with certain medicines. Many individuals don't know that grapefruit holds substances that block enzymes in the liver and gut that help break down medications. This means when you consume grapefruit, your body might take in too much or too little of certain drugs, leading to harmful effects. For example, if you're on treatment for elevated blood pressure, cholesterol, or heart concerns, grapefruit can keep the drug in your system longer than intended, making it dangerously strong. Alternatively, some medications might not work properly, robbing you of their intended benefits. This is particularly troubling for older individuals who depend on daily prescriptions to manage ongoing health issues. Something as simple as a morning cup of grapefruit juice could unintentionally mess up your treatment strategy. But it's not just heart medications at risk. Grapefruit can also affect drugs for anxiety, mood disorders, and even pain management. This may result in a variety of unpleasant effects like faintness, abnormal heartbeat, kidney stress, and internal bleeding. What's worse, these effects build up gradually. You might not sense anything immediately, but over weeks or months, it can become serious. Take Franklin, for instance. At 70, he was handling his blood pressure just fine with medication. Every morning, he started his day with grapefruit juice, thinking it was a smart choice. Slowly, he began noticing weakness and dizziness, never linking it to his breakfast. A doctor visit revealed his drug levels were far above normal. The cause? Grapefruit. Removing it allowed his medication to function properly again. If you're on prescriptions, always check with a healthcare provider before eating grapefruit. Though it may seem innocent, its effect on medicine absorption makes it a risky choice. There are plenty of other fruits offering the same nutrients without the drawbacks. Opting for one of those is a safer route. Number 2. Durian. Durian, often labeled the king of fruits, is well known for its bold smell and velvety feel. Though admired in many regions, older individuals should handle it with care. A major concern with durian is its high sulfur content, which blocks how the body breaks down alcohol. This is dangerous for anyone who occasionally drinks, as combining durian with alcohol can cause vomiting, dizziness, or sudden spikes in blood pressure. Another issue is durian's high fat and calorie makeup. Though healthy fats are important, the fats in durian are heavier and tougher to digest, especially for aging individuals with slower metabolism. Overeating durian may cause bloating, discomfort, and even irregular heart rhythms. Some people report feeling overheated or flushed, a sign of how durian affects blood flow. For those with high blood pressure or cardiac concerns, that's a problem. Then there's the sugar concern. Durian contains a lot of natural sugars, making it one of the sweetest fruits available. For those managing insulin resistance or diabetes, this fruit can cause a fast sugar spike, followed by exhaustion and long-term issues. Unlike fruits rich in fiber that help slow sugar absorption, durian's texture encourages overconsumption, increasing the likelihood of sugar imbalance. Consider Walter, aged 66, who liked trying unique foods. One evening, he enjoyed a large serving of durian. A few hours later, his heartbeat surged and his body felt unusually warm. Later, he felt weak and faint. He didn't realize his blood sugar had surged and his blood pressure had climbed due to the fruit's richness. A visit to the physician confirmed it. durian caused a dangerous combination of symptoms. If you have diabetes, high blood pressure, or slow digestion, avoiding durian might be wise. Plenty of fruits offer the same nutrition without the risks. While durian can be a delicacy, it's one that older adults should approach with caution. Number 3. Starfruit. Starfruit is often admired for its distinct shape, crisp taste, and bright yellow hue. It may appear like a harmless addition to your diet, but for older adults, particularly those with kidney troubles, this fruit can be quite hazardous. What makes starfruit risky is a chemical it holds known as a neurotoxin. In healthy bodies, the kidneys filter this out without issue. However, for individuals with diminished kidney ability, the toxin can accumulate and trigger serious effects on the brain and nerves. These effects may include confusion, dizziness, involuntary muscle movements, and in severe situations, even seizures or loss of consciousness. The scary part is that it doesn't require a large portion. Research shows even half a starfruit can spark these symptoms in those with impaired kidney function. Unlike allergic reactions that show up right away, starfruit's toxin works more slowly, making it tough to spot as the cause. Many older adults only realize the danger after experiencing puzzling symptoms that seem unrelated. Take Douglas, for instance. At 76, he was managing mild kidney disease quite well. One day, he bought a starfruit from his neighborhood market, curious to try something new. Within hours, he felt disoriented and foggy. The next day, his balance worsened and his hands began to tremble slightly. Since he kept eating starfruit that week, the symptoms got worse. A checkup revealed his kidneys weren't filtering out the toxins, causing neurological issues. Once he cut starfruit from his meals, the problem slowly faded. Even if you've never had kidney problems, aging naturally reduces the kidney's efficiency. That's why seniors in particular should stay away from starfruit. If you have any level of kidney decline, even if minor, starfruit is a real danger. It's much safer to stick with fruits that carry no such hidden threats. Number 4. Cherimoya, custard apple. Cherimoya, sometimes called custard apple, is beloved for its smooth, creamy interior and sugary tropical flavor. Many enjoy it as a dessert treat. However, few people are aware that parts of this fruit, especially the seeds, skin, and leaves, contain toxic elements that can negatively influence the nervous system. These toxins, known as anonicin, are connected to brain-related illnesses and in higher doses can damage nerves, impair movement, and disrupt cognitive functions. One of the most subtle risks with cherimoya is how easy it is to accidentally eat the seeds. Unlike fruits with big separate seeds, cherimoya's seeds blend into the soft pulp, making them harder to avoid. Even a bit of crushed seed can release these dangerous chemicals, potentially affecting brain health. For older adults, this is especially alarming. As we grow older, our bodies process toxins more slowly, increasing the chance of harmful buildup. Over time, repeated exposure may contribute to issues resembling Parkinson's disease. There are other warning signs too. Some people experience mild symptoms like lightheadedness, excessive tiredness, or even tingling in their limbs after consuming large quantities. Others report a lasting metallic taste in their mouth, a sign that the nervous system is reacting to the fruit's compounds. Let's look at Howard, age 68, who loved exploring global foods and began enjoying cherimoya multiple times per week. Eventually, he noticed growing fatigue and weakening grip strength in his hands. His doctor later pointed out the potential neurotoxic properties of certain tropical fruits. When Howard removed cherimoya from his diet, his energy and coordination noticeably improved. If you're a fan of tropical fruits, consider safer choices like bananas, pears, or mangoes. These deliver similar sweetness and nutrition without the risks. When it comes to safeguarding brain function and nerve health, it's always wiser to choose carefully. Number 5. Unripe papaya. Papaya is often labeled a superfruit because of its digestive enzymes and nutrients. But when it's not fully ripened, it can bring serious health concerns, particularly for older adults. The issue stems from a substance called latex, found in high levels in unripe papaya. This natural latex can trigger allergic responses, upset your digestion, and even irritate your throat and stomach lining. While some individuals may only experience minor discomfort, others, especially those with sensitive digestion, can suffer intense bloating, cramping, or nausea. One of the biggest concerns for older adults is how unripe papaya affects the digestive system. As we age, the stomach lining becomes more delicate and prone to inflammation. Enzymes in green papaya, especially papain, can be too intense for older stomachs, leading to reflux or even worsening conditions like ulcers or gastritis. Beyond digestive trouble, latex allergies are surprisingly common, and many people aren't aware they're sensitive until they react. Symptoms can range from a scratchy throat to swelling or breathing issues. Seniors who have had allergic reactions to avocados, bananas, or chestnuts should be extra alert, as these contain similar compounds and can cause cross-reactions. Take Elaine, a 78-year-old, focused on healthy eating. After reading about papaya's health perks, she began including it in her smoothies. One morning, she used a not yet ripe papaya. Within an hour, her throat felt raw and her chest felt tight. She brushed it off as acid reflux until it happened again a week later. Her doctor later identified a mild latex allergy as the cause. Once she switched to fully ripened papaya, the symptoms disappeared. Even if you don't have an allergy, unripe papaya can still be tough on your digestion. Fully ripened papaya, on the other hand, has very low levels of latex and is generally well tolerated. Always wait until your papaya is fully soft and yellow-orange before eating. Avoid green papaya unless you're sure it won't irritate your system. There are plenty of fruits like cooked apples or pears that are gentle on digestion and come without the risks. Number 6. Ackee is a tropical fruit popular in certain cultures, especially in dishes like ackee and saltfish. But for older adults, it's one of the most hazardous fruits around. The problem with ackee is a natural chemical it contains called hypoglycin. When the fruit isn't fully ripe, hypoglycin remains in dangerous amounts, making the fruit potentially toxic. Eating unripe ackee can result in Jamaican vomiting illness, a condition marked by severe nausea, throwing up, weakness, and in serious cases, drastic drops in blood sugar. For seniors who may already struggle with regulating blood sugar, this can quickly become life-threatening. Symptoms don't always show up immediately. Some people feel fine for hours before suddenly collapsing with stomach cramps, cold sweats, and dizziness. If untreated, this reaction may escalate into seizures, coma, or even death. Because of these dangers, many countries have strict rules about ackee imports and preparation. However, in some areas, fresh ackee is still sold and eaten, often without proper knowledge of how to prepare it safely. For older adults, the biggest concern is how ackee blocks the body's ability to make glucose. This can cause blood sugar levels to crash rapidly, particularly dangerous for those managing diabetes or other sugar-related disorders. Even without diabetes, this sudden drop can lead to confusion, poor coordination, or fainting, any of which could cause serious injury for seniors. Let's look at Bernard, aged 67, who was visiting family overseas. He tried a local ackee dish and thought nothing of it. But a few hours later, he felt dizzy and nauseous. That evening, he struggled to stay on his feet and couldn't keep any food down. It turned out the ackee he ate wasn't quite ripe enough, and the hypoglycin was enough to disrupt his blood sugar regulation. He recovered, but the experience taught him to avoid ackee entirely. Unless prepared by a truly knowledgeable cook, and only when fully ripened, ackee should be skipped by seniors. Even when safe, some people still react mildly, making it not worth the gamble. Tropical fruits like mango, pineapple, or papaya, when ripe, are much safer alternatives. Number 7. Lychee. Lychee is juicy, sweet, and often seen as a fun treat in the warmer months. But for seniors, it hides a serious threat, especially if eaten on an empty stomach. Lychee contains a compound that disrupts the body's ability to generate glucose, which can be extremely risky for those with unstable blood sugar. One of the most concerning issues with lychee is its connection to sudden, unexplained drops in blood sugar, particularly in undernourished individuals. Studies have linked lychee consumption to episodes of hypoglycemia, especially when eaten without other food. For older adults, whose sugar levels may already be harder to control, this can lead to dizziness, confusion, and even passing out. This risk increases significantly for seniors taking diabetes medication or insulin, as the combination can cause dangerously low glucose levels. In addition, lychee has some naturally occurring toxins that can stress the liver when consumed in large amounts. Most people can handle a few lychees without issue, but overeating, especially without meals, can overwhelm the body. Consider Marcia, age 74, who loved fruit snacks in the morning. One day, she enjoyed a bowl of lychee before breakfast. A couple of hours later, she felt shaky and disoriented. She thought it was just tiredness. But when it happened again, she consulted her doctor and discovered lychee was interfering with her blood sugar control. Once she adjusted her routine and avoided eating lychee on an empty stomach, the episode stopped. The safest approach for older adults is to only eat lychee after a balanced meal and in small portions. And if you're dealing with blood sugar issues, it may be better to skip it entirely. Fruits like berries, apples, and peaches offer just as much flavor without causing your glucose to crash. Number 8. Pomegranate. Pomegranate is often praised for its antioxidant content and heart benefits, but what many don't realize is that for older adults, especially those taking medications, it can be more harmful than helpful. The seeds and juice of pomegranate contain compounds that can interfere with enzyme pathways in the liver, particularly those involved in metabolizing prescription drugs. This is similar to grapefruit, where pomegranate may cause certain medications, like blood thinners, cholesterol drugs, or blood pressure meds, to remain in your system longer than intended. That may lead to side effects such as dizziness, extreme fatigue, or even internal bleeding in more serious cases. Another lesser-known concern is that pomegranate juice can lower blood pressure significantly. While this sounds like a good thing, it can be risky for seniors who are already taking blood pressure-lowering medication. The combined effect could push pressure too low, leading to fainting spells, blurred vision, or falls, especially in those who are frail or live alone. Take Doris, aged 75, who began drinking pomegranate juice daily after hearing it was good for her heart. Within weeks, she began to feel lightheaded every morning and experienced occasional nosebleeds. Her doctor discovered that the juice was intensifying the effects of her medication. When she cut it from her diet, the symptoms stopped. If you're on any medication, especially for heart, blood pressure, or cholesterol, talk to your doctor before adding pomegranate regularly to your meals. There are safer alternatives that still support cardiovascular health without the interaction risks, like blueberries or apples. Number 9. Dried fruits, e.g. raisins, dried apricots, dates. Dried fruits might seem like a smart snack, small, convenient, and packed with fiber. But for older adults, these chewy treats can bring a surprising number of health issues. First off, dried fruits are extremely high in natural sugars and concentrated calories. Because the water content is removed, you're left with a dense dose of sugar in every small bite. This can lead to quick blood sugar spikes, which are especially dangerous for those managing diabetes or insulin resistance. In addition, many dried fruits are coated with preservatives like sulfur dioxide, which can irritate the stomach and cause breathing difficulties in sensitive individuals. This is especially concerning for older adults who have asthma or compromised respiratory health. Plus, these preservatives can aggravate acid reflux or gastrointestinal distress, common problems as we age. Another concern is dental health. Dried fruits are sticky and often cling to teeth, feeding harmful bacteria and increasing the risk of cavities, gum disease, or oral infections, issues that are already more common in older adults due to dry mouth or reduced dental care. Take Gerald, 73, who loved snacking on raisins and dried mango during the day. After a few months, he noticed a few new cavities and began experiencing stronger blood sugar swings after meals. A quick adjustment to fresh fruit instead of dried helped stabilize his energy and reduce dental complaints. For safer options, stick with whole, fresh fruits that hydrate the body and deliver balanced sugar intake. If you love dried fruits, keep portions small and drink water afterward, and always check labels for additives. As we conclude this guide, take a moment to reflect on the 9 fruits we've explored. Some of them may have surprised you, especially if you've always thought of them as healthy staples. But as we've seen, even natural foods can carry hidden dangers, particularly as our bodies change with age. The goal isn't to fear fruit, but to be smart and aware of how certain ones interact with medications, blood sugar, digestion, and overall wellness. Every person's body is different, and what works for one may be risky for another. especially in later years when the liver, kidneys, and metabolism are more sensitive. By knowing which fruits to avoid or eat cautiously, you can make smarter dietary choices, avoid discomfort, and possibly prevent serious health episodes. Whether it's grapefruit interfering with your prescriptions, starfruit affecting your brain, or dried fruit spiking your blood sugar, being selective can make a big difference. Which of these fruits caught you off guard? Have you ever had a strange reaction after eating any of them? We'd truly love to hear your thoughts. Your personal experiences might help someone else avoid an unexpected health issue. At the end of the day, staying healthy isn't just about eating more fruits. It's about eating the right fruits in the right way. Staying informed and making small adjustments adds up to major protection for your body and mind. And always remember, if you're ever unsure about whether a certain food is safe for you, especially with medications or medical conditions, don't hesitate to talk to your doctor. Your health is worth every bit of care and attention. Thanks so much for joining us today. If you found this helpful, we'd love to hear one thing you learned and how you might use it in your own life. Your input is deeply appreciated and helps us keep creating clear, meaningful content that supports your health journey. Take care of yourself, and we hope to see you again soon.